Good afternoon, everyone. How are you? Good afternoon. Yep. Citizens Academy, session 9, right? Okay. All right. All right. We're going to start off with the singing of the national anthem by Mary Ann Golf.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right. Everybody can take a seat. All right. I just want to start off by saying congratulations, Citizens Academy, Session 9. And I also wanted to start off by saying the Citizens Police Academy provides an excellent opportunity for participants to gain a better understanding of procedures, guidelines, responsibilities, policies, laws that govern law enforcement. Incorporating hands-on experiences and participants creates a chance to put citizens in, law enforcement's shoes for a brief while. Citizens Academy is an opportunity, it's a powerful, I'm sorry. All right. The Citizens Academy is a unique and powerful means to increase the community's empathy and sympathy for law enforcement. It provides an opportunity to humanize law enforcement officers, to get to know the actual person behind the badge. And once again, congratulations. And also, I ran across a quote that I thought was quite fitting for this particular occasion. And it's by Maya Angelou, and it goes as such. I've learned that people will forget what you say, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Maya Angelou. And I say that to say that treat people with kindness and be respectful at all times, despite their color. Okay, and thank you. And I'd like to call up Deputy Chief Preston. I'm sorry? Okay.
Before anybody gets confused, I am not Deputy Chief Preston. So, I get that all the time at places that people ask me if I'm the chief, and I go, no, I have hair. So, once again, I'm Lieutenant Knott. I'm the Commander of Investigative Services, and the Community Services Unit comes under me. And it just dawned on me a minute ago that you guys are Session 9. We've only been here 15 years. That's pretty amazing. I think that says a lot for my staff, and I really appreciate all their hard work. So, on behalf of the Bowie Police Department, I want to welcome everyone to the graduation of Session 9. I want to congratulate the members of this Session 9 for completing this program. Over the course of the program, you had classes on how the State's Attorney's Office works, evidence collection, how to respond to active shooters, how to make entries in the rooms, and that's all fun and great, and you learn about policies, but more importantly, like Sergeant Gibson touched on, you get the chance to see us as human beings. You don't always get that. And sometimes, when we respond to a call, we don't have that opportunity to show you that side of us either. And that's why it's so important for classes and events like this. So you got to learn what it's like on some level to be a police officer, but more importantly, we got to learn who you are as members of the community that we serve. The main reason we have this academy is the chance to meet and to talk with our community and have open and sometimes frank conversations of what's going on in policing and our communities. And sometimes, those conversations aren't always easy, but they need to happen, and we look forward to them. It's my hope that those lines of communication will remain open in both directions, because we will be reaching out to you to help us with some of our upcoming events like National Night Out, Shop with a Cop. It's just a great event we do every Christmas for disadvantaged children in this area of Bowie. So without further ado, I want to take the chance to introduce Mr. Lott, the city manager, for a few words.
Good evening. Congratulations to all of you who are about to graduate from the Citizens Police Academy. But to start off with, for those of you who may not be familiar with the kind of government we have here in Bowie, so I'll tell you just why I'm here. Bowie is a council manager form of government. There are two general types of government used in cities. Strong mayor, like Baltimore, DC, where the mayor is the executive and he or she runs everything and everybody works for them. About half of the cities in the United States are that way. Arguably, the more effective form of government is what we have here in Bowie. It's the council manager form of government, where the mayor is a weak mayor, but his job is to manage the city council and direct the council to get the policy that they need, right? So I work for the entire city council, and of which the mayor is the chairman of that board. And so everybody else, the other 400 people in the city, work for me. As the council hires me because I've been an assistant city manager, a public works director, a city manager elsewhere since 1998. So this is what I do for a living, as opposed to, winning an election and there you are in charge. All right. So the chief of police, I am his supervisor. So that's why I'm up here talking to you, because these guys work for me, and what they do and how well they do it is directly related to how well I do my job. All right, in a council manager form of government. Now that's a clinical description. If you want to really get into it, you can read our charter, and it's all laid out right there. So, on behalf of my bosses, the city council, I'd like to congratulate everybody here who's participated and or supported somebody who's participating in this civilian police academy program. It's a very helpful, mind-expanding program, because most of us and most of you would not have much encounters with police, or as they referred, law enforcement. And so all you know is what you hear or what you see on television and all of that, right? But now you know better, right? Now you know what the real deal is, right? Not somebody making a pitch, or somebody slanting a story, or somebody upset. Now you know the real situation. One example, 20-some years ago when I got out of America's Army, I was assistant city manager in College Park. Well, College Park, that city, it also a council manager form of government, elected not to have a police department. Now, don't know why. It was the culture of the city or the way the people thought there. And, however, they wanted police enforcement. Now, Prince George's County was required to provide services, but as you know, the county's really big and everybody's really spread out, and that was tough. However, in the city of College Park, we had the College Park University Police operating. We had WMATA Police operating because we had 2 stations there. We had Parking Planning Police operating, and since Route 1 was there, we had the state police there and Prince George's County Police. But here's the difference. I don't like to use the word law enforcement because because I'm a Southern guy, right? I'm from Mobile, Alabama. See, for those of you who have Southern roots, I know don't have the accent, but I can get it when I want to. But there's law enforcement, and then there's the police. Because when you dial 911, the parking planning guys don't show up. All right? The WMATA guys don't show up. And here in Bowie, Prince George's County Police don't show up. These guys show up because they're the police. And in College Park, 911, we got Prince George's County. Everybody else is walking around looking good. Nice shiny cars, nice badges. But they weren't doing everyday police work like Corporal Dollard did about 2 years ago when somebody broke into my daughter's car, and she went around and investigated the matter and took the police report and all that and impressed my daughter. And my daughter's not easy because she's a legend in her own mind. She's got a doctorate. But that's what I mean. A crime was committed and the police went out to deal with it. So with this class, you now have a firsthand understanding of what the difference is between law enforcement and the police, right? Now, I did go through the course 2 other times. Once with Prince George's County in '99, back in the olden days, and they had this really tough sergeant who ran the operation. The strange thing, we did the shoot, no shoot thing, and the most, the 2 guys quickest to shoot were the 2 ministers. One was a priest and one was a Presbyterian. But those are really dangerous situations that police find themselves in all the time when they're trying to keep the peace. And if you've ever had your car broken into or your home burglarized or anything stolen from you, it's a real traumatic experience when it happens. So it's really important who shows up and does what. I also went through the course in Albany, Georgia. For those who speak Southern, that's Albany, Georgia, down in southwest Georgia. So public safety is so important. It's also really important, the reason this course is super important, that it helps get you synchronized with your police department. And one of the things that when I evaluate Chief Nesky, one of the things I always compliment him on with regard to policing is that this department is more synchronized with the community than anybody else, than any place that I've been. And I've worked at Tacoma Park, Albany. I move around like, city managers do that, but I've been here a long time now, almost 6 years now. But more than any city I've been, this police department is synchronized with its residents, better than any place I've seen. And that was exemplified 2 years ago when all over the country, everybody was upset with what happened to Mr. Floyd. But the reality was, it wasn't relevant to what was going on in Bowie, because the city of Bowie and its police department and its residents were on the same sheet of music. And so we didn't have that problem because every situation is different. That's one of the things about government and policing in America. Every city's got their own police department, everybody's got their own rules, everybody's got a different chief. But Bowie, we're synchronized, and that's why this is really important. Now, and remember, when something goes wrong and you dial 911, you're not getting law enforcement, you're calling the police, and you're calling the Bowie police. And in my opinion, the most effective organization in the state. Thank you very much.
Good evening, session 9. So I kind of missed y'all. It's been a little while. All right, hope everyone enjoyed themselves. I do, before I get started on remarks, I do want to express congratulations from Chief Nesky. He was vacationing in San Diego, but like many people they're experiencing today, his flight got canceled. So he wasn't able to make it back here. So he's still trying to make his way back, been diverted through Denver and some other places, but you know, hopefully he'll be here sometime later on this evening. So this is a joyous occasion. Obviously, it's a celebration of you all's completion of the 9th Academy, Citizens Police Academy. But before I kind of get into the remarks of the great accomplishment, you know, there's some sobering reminders of the work that the men and women in law enforcement do on a daily basis. And so you all started this journey on May 3rd, 2022, right? So I want you to realize that in this country, since that date until today, there's been 172 mass shootings in the United States of America, okay? And the mass shooting is defined as a shooting where 4 or more people were shot, all right? Think about it. That's 172. So far in 2022, there have been over 300 so far in 2022. And I know you've received some dynamic training through all of the instructors. I know Corporal Welsh and Sergeant Waller in the back. These are the realities that at any moment of the day, things that we'll be called upon to respond to. And we put ourselves in harm's way for each and every one of you all here that's represented in your families. And so, as Lieutenant Knott mentioned earlier, you know, we are human. And sometimes we will make mistakes. But also, I want you all to understand that we will always do our very best to do our best and try to serve you each and every time. Sometimes we may fall short because we're human, but we will do our very best. We're committed to serving this community. And we appreciate you taking the time to spend a few weeks with us. You've given up 1 day a week for the last 13 weeks, and we appreciate that. That's an investment that you've made in this community. That's showing the confidence that you have in this police department to learn what we do and how we serve you. So we appreciate that. It's my hope that you will share, if you enjoyed this experience, that you would share with others and encourage them to attend the next session. I know they don't want to talk. Janet is, she's looking for some time to relax here shortly, and we're glad she made it tonight. But she is, I do want to acknowledge not only all of the officers here in the community services team and everyone that's helped, but specifically Corporal Dollar. This is something that she has championed, and she has done an outstanding job in terms of the program with the support of Corporal Sims and the other members of the community services team. And it's just another example of the dedication that the officers have to this community. And so we hope that this is not the end of anything by your graduation. It is the beginning of the partnership that will continue. National Night Out is August 2nd, so I assume that part of the assignment is that everyone graduating is assigned something on August 2nd, right? So you all will be there for National Night Out, all right? All right, so it's an outstanding event. If you've never attended a National Night Out, I really hope that you do come out. As I mentioned, it's August 2nd at Allen's Pond from 6 to 8 p.m. Not only will we be there, but Prince George's County Police Department, Maryland State Police. I believe we got the helicopter again? All right, that's the biggest treat that everyone has. I know last year was, they stole the show when the helicopter landed, so everybody just flocked to the soccer field. So we hope that, that you come out and continue to build a relationship with us. You know, we want to interact with our community. That's what we're here for. And I just say, again, congratulations. I look forward to the next session. I know I talked to Robert about, you know, trying to do one for our young men and women. One of the things that I was looking at in terms of some of the statistics involving police-involved shooting, the median age is usually between the age of 18 and 39, is the biggest environment, and mostly is young men that are involved in policing, daily police encounters. And so that is the group that we've had some challenge in reaching. And many of you all have, you know, young adults or young men and women in your households. We want to get a session with them. We'll abbreviate it so it's not 13 weeks. But I think a lot of and you all have been through the curriculum now, so I believe a lot of the topics are things that we need to discuss with them. So, you know, it's something that we want to reach more of the community and the segment, and unfortunately, that we'll have the most contact with, Okay? So again, congratulations, and, I'll be around after the conclusion of graduation to individually congratulate each and every one of you. Thank you.
Also, we'll have some brief words from Council Member Michael Estes.
Hey folks, I don't want to take up too much time tonight. Michael Esteve on the Bowie City Council. I had the opportunity this morning and this evening to spend some time with some of our officers at roll call. I like to spend as much time as I can with all of our frontline employees, public works, public safety, community services, park rangers, because frankly, even local government decision makers oftentimes don't hear enough from the people who are actually doing the day-to-day job, right? Picking up the trash, answering the phones when there's a problem, dealing directly with residents when services need to be provided. And so it's something that I prioritize, something that we all prioritize in the City Council. I was at a mass shooting training a couple weeks ago at the Kent Hill Center. And Deputy Chief Preston was there, and a couple different companies were in talking about how they teach churches, synagogues, nonprofits, governments, how to deal with mass shooting situations. Fortunately, these are still uncommon. Most people aren't going to experience one in their lifetime, but sadly it is something that happens enough that it's probably wise for people to be more informed about. And one of the things that was said in that training that evening was that, in some departments across the country, sometimes local law enforcement aren't going to respond properly to a mass shooting. And we've seen that in some recent cases where local law enforcement really didn't do what they needed to, and lives were lost. But we talked about the fact that in Bowie, that is not something that any one of us is afraid of. In Bowie, the love that our police officers have for this community is real, it's palpable, it's felt, and the love that this community has for its police is also incredibly palpable. We know that every last person in our police department, top to bottom, would absolutely put their lives on the lines for our citizens. We know that with absolute certainty. There are mayors and local officials across this town who lay awake at night worrying about what their police officers are or are not doing. I sleep very comfortably as a lawmaker here in Bowie. I have no worries about what our police officers are or are not doing. We're a big believer in quality over quantity. We have a department that is definitely smaller than it could be for a town our size, but we're big believers in making sure that we recruit people who we have 100% confidence in, rather than having a large department of people that we're not entirely sure about. We are going to be doing more in the coming years to try and grow our numbers a little bit as we keep up with the growth that we're seeing in the region, and to make sure that officers are being taken care of, as they do a very difficult job, even on a good day. But I just want to be here tonight to say thank you to you all for participating in this program, for getting to know our department a little bit better, for giving them the opportunity to get to know you a little bit better, and for being a part of this community. What makes a good town is not just the quality of the services, or the tax rate, or how fancy City Hall is. What makes a town is the people, every last person in it. And we are a good town because you all are good people, and the people we employ are good people. And we want to make sure that your relationships remain strong. And so I appreciate your being here. I appreciate your participating in this program. And I hope that you'll continue to be not only advocates for our local law enforcement, but you'll continue to be eyes and ears for all residents as we work together to address public safety in our community going forward. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now can we have the class representative speech? It's going to be by Mr. Clarence Elbridge.
Good evening, everyone. I love the fact that they said the class representative. I must admit that I was voluntold, and I'm outnumbered, and so. But this is a tremendous blessing. It's interesting. Before I knew about this class, I was taking a ride down 197. I was heading somewhere. And I saw the sign that basically stated that, the Bowie, the Bowie Police Department Citizens Academy or something, Police Academy. And I said, that seems interesting. I think I'll try that. Just something different to do. I think it's important to have that community outreach. I think more importantly is that the beginning of a really good relationship, well, the beginning of it, and then its sustainment and the end of it, all the way through its life cycle, the important piece is communication. Relationships live and die based on communication. If you have a bad relationship, I can guarantee you it's specifically based on a poor communication method. So this was good for the city to put this particular class on. I've learned a tremendous amount of information. I kind of think that I know quite a bit, but we learned much, much more in this class. But I want to give thanks to the officers that basically hosted this for us and trained us. I want to especially thank Sergeant Gibson, Corporal Sims, but most of all, where is that little lady? Corporal Dollard. I say we give her a hand. I know I tease you all the time. She tries to ignore me, but I see you. But she's been fantastic to see her out here, and the fact that she's about to give birth. Congratulations again. We'll be praying for you as well. But I tell you, she's been so diligent and so helpful and right on point, so welcoming. And so it's been a tremendous blessing to be able to come here and to go through this class together. We've developed relationships with one another. We've learned a lot of different things about each other. We've even had some hot moments. I will admit, where's Mr. Lee? Oh my God. But he's awesome. I want to thank him as well, but more importantly, this relationship here should not just start here and end here, right? It should continue on, and I think it's very, very important. I'm a Bowie resident. I grew up in a little town called Seabrook, which is right before you get to Bowie. So I've been here all my life. This has been a fantastic thing. I remember when they announced that we were going to have a police department, I was so happy because I have investments here, right? So I was really happy about that. But we want to be able to develop a relationship with our officers, right? This is not just their job, but it's our job as well to take care of our own village. So I wanted to just have a few words to speak. I'm not going to hold you long, but you don't have to do this, but I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm going to present to some and introduce to others my desk partner, Ms. Lisa Ford.
All right, so I am basically the biggest troublemaker that any session of Bowie Police has probably had, if I'm being fair. But first, right, see, he co-signed. First things first, I want to say thank you. Thank you to everybody that came, but more importantly, thank you to you guys. And if you guys, which you weren't in the class, but I have all the questions, all of them. And I have always had to give a disclaimer, and I promise these officers that I am not a criminal. I am not planning some, he's convinced I'm planning a major caper, and I just took this class so I could figure out how to get away with it. And I've also been challenged to not curse, which is a challenge for me. Y'all don't understand. So we're gonna try to keep it cute. But no, if you guys aren't familiar with what this program is, kind of like you, I was driving on 197 and was like, what's a Citizens Police Academy? You know, when I Googled it while I was driving, which I, whoops. But so because I forget, I mean, let's be real, I would forget, right? So, but it's exceeded my expectations. All of the officers that took their time out and honestly volunteered their time to come and really be candid and frank with us. We appreciate it so very much. I will keep it short. I want to say thank you for was it an active shooter? When we did off campus, was it active shooter? It was very eye-opening, but thank you first and foremost to Corporal Dollard, because I wasn't sure you were gonna not have that baby before class ended, so thank you, and thank your little one. Sergeant Gibson, Deputy Chief Preston, Chief Nesky, Corporal Saunders, Corporal Sims, Lieutenant Knott, Corporal Shiflett and his K-9, I'm not sure if I said his name right, Corporal Reeves with Police Department SWAT, Commander Knott, Corporal Welsh, and last but certainly not least, you know who you are, Mr. from a Jersey girl to a Baltimore Marine. Okay, sir? All right? So this guy gave me the business the whole class. I don't think y'all the whole 13 weeks. This man gave me the business, but it was worth it, so thank you. And thank you guys so much for putting up with my mouth, and I promise you I am not a criminal.
Thank you, Ms. Ford. I can't compete with that at all.
13 weeks.
So now we're going to go into the presentation of graduates, but first, I would like to say thank you for, taking your time out of your busy days to come here and sit through this and learn about policing. This Citizens Police Academy is all about bridging that gap with law enforcement and the community. And that is still a challenge that we deal with on a daily basis in America. And for you guys to come out and take time out and learn about that means a lot to us. Thank you. All right, so now let's get into the presentation of the graduates. Ready? All right. First, get you guys together. We good? All right. Myla Cook. Geronda Downing. Laurie Eastman. Clarence Elbridge. Victoria Fontroy. Lisa Ford. Judy Hollaby. Darian Johnson.
You got it. Oh, no?
Robert Johnson. Leslie Knitz. Lynn Keller. Jamie Locke. Daniel Lee. Armani McCoy. Jose Ramos. Rachel Reyes Ortiz. Cynthia Roberts. And Bobby Waller.
Once again, congratulations to Session 9. And Sergeant Dotsie, while you're sitting over there, if you do it again, I have stories. I was still a sergeant at the county police when he came on, so.
Amen. Now it's lieutenant now.
We are two examples that they will put bars in anything. So once again, congratulations, everybody. We look forward to seeing you at our events and continuing this friendship as we move forward in the future. But once again, there are refreshments outside, as you all are well aware. Let's have some cheer and share some memories out there. Good night.